Hi everybody and welcome to today's class, which is going to have a bit more of a focus around our hips and our pelvis, our gluteal muscles. So important for after pregnancy to make sure that we start to build up all of this strength. Weakness through the hips and the pelvis can lead to obviously pelvic pain, low back pain, knee pain and even ankle pain. So this is today's focus. Equipment that we've got, which is optional but really useful, is going to be a circular band. And as always, if you haven't done the stuff for a while, I'd advise you to use your lightest circular band. In the introductory course included with your package, it has longer teaches on some of the exercises that we're going to do. So if at any point that you're struggling, please stop, pause, and go back and have a watch. So making sure you check in with how you feel today, how you're doing in your body, noticing that, because when you practice at different times, you're going to feel different. Taking a breath in, just to start the class, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. I love this part. Breathing in and then breathing out. So from here, find your center position. So feet, knees, hip width apart, making those two perfect footprints. We're going to bend and straighten the knees, finding the point where the knees are straight but they're not locked. We're going to think about our pelvis, that pelvis bucket. We're going to rock our pelvis forwards and back with those pelvic tilts. And we're going to find our halfway neutral position, that middle position. We're going to check that our breastbone is stacked on top of our belly button. You've heard me talk about these chocolate domes that we stack on top of each other. Head floats up tall, shoulders are long. We're going to start off today with our roll down, making sure we're working through that spine, trying to encourage that movement. So I'm going to stand side on, finding that center. And remember, when I talk about breath work, just breathe as you can. When I talk about engaging the core, we're kind of cueing your pelvic floor. As you can, gently engage those muscles. If it's too challenging right now, that is okay as well. So back to the center. We're going to breathe in, gently engage in those inner core muscles. As we breathe out, we're going to feel our chin go onto our chest. We're going to gently roll down, bone by bone. We're only going to go halfway. We're going to just stop by our knees, checking that your shoulders are relaxed. And as we breathe in, we're going to just roll back up. We're going to do this bit by bit today, just working, loosening our spine nice and gently. Going to just do another one just to our knees. We're going to breathe in as we engage our core, breathing out. Chin goes onto your chest, just rolling down, bone by bone. Stopping at your knees, breathing in, rolling up. You may notice that I do this little movement with my arms, and that just really keeps my shoulders relaxed. This time we're going to go a bit lower towards our feet, but you stop wherever your body naturally feels like it has a stretch. Breathing in, engaging the core as we breathe out. Chin goes onto your chest. Imagine my fingertips are walking down your spine. Your chin goes down, then above your shoulder blades, around the bra strap, below the bra strap. Then the low back, and only after your low back should you feel the fold at your hips. Breathing in, and then imagine that tailbone tucks under. So my tailbone tucks under first. The small of my back lifts up, then round my shoulder blades, then the shoulders go down, then my head floats up tall, and I take that nice breath in. This time we're going to lift our arms up, we're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out, our arms are going to go down, our chin is going to go onto our chest.
We're going to roll down, bone by bone, breathing in and out as you do so, only as far as you naturally can, and then you're going to breathe in. We're going to roll up, we're going to feel ourselves gently restacking. Head comes up last, shoulders drop down. Once again, we're going to take a lovely breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to do our last roll down. Chin is going to go onto our chest. We'll just roll down bone by bone. And it's not the goal to touch the floor. We're just going to go as far as we can, breathing in. Gently restacking, feeling those glutes tighten to help bring our body up. And our last breath in. And then breathe out. We're going to find our center again. We're going to just finish off a side stretch, breathing in and out. If your arm is comfortable, just side bend. Coming back to center, breathing in, and as we breathe out, opening up the sides. Opening up our waist and even into the hips a little bit. And coming back to center. So from here, we're going to start with some glute work in standing. Now, once you're in your center position, we're going to just play with our weight shift. We're going to notice what our body does. It is important that as we walk and we move, that we do have some movement in the pelvis, but too much can cause us problems. And if we're a little bit more stable and strong in our glutes, it helps. So we're going to try something as simple as walking on the spot. So we're going to bend a knee, and then we're going to bend another knee. We're going to bend a knee, so I'll show you on sideways, and we're going to bend another knee. So I look like I'm just walking on the spot, and you're going to be saying, Katie, I don't understand this exercise. So first of all, I want you to start having awareness that as you're walking on the spot, you're lengthening through your body. You've got those two chocolate domes stacked up. The next thing I want you to be aware of is I want you to visualize yourself in a cardboard tube. So maybe a really, really like wrapping paper roll, like those long tubes. And we're going to see how still you can be within the tube. So what we're looking to avoid is this. So great on a runway, a little bit of a sachet. We're trying to see if we can go up and down, trying to keep our hips in a straight line. Now, for some of you, you're going to suddenly notice that things have become a little bit more difficult. So just be kind, think about your alignment, maybe noticing which side you really do drift towards. Simply, that would possibly be your weaker side in your hips. So you're just going to have to do a few more exercises on that side. You may notice that actually your calves and your feet are working. So we're going to keep walking on the spot, being inside that cardboard tube. Sometimes I get people to have their hands by their sides. We're trying not to knock our hands as we walk. We're going to keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And your feet probably want a little bit of a circle. If you can't stand on one leg, we're going to come on to that anyway in a second. Just hold on as you're stretching out your ankles. So giving that a little bit of a movement. Come find the center. So we're going to start with another balance exercise. And again, balance means core strength, obviously ankle and knee strength as well, but specifically the glutes. So we're going to start simply, and then I'll add on a couple of variations if any of you feel comfortable to follow. So Once again, I would suggest doing this on the floor because you're going to be more stable than on a mat. And if you're really unstable, find something that you can hold on to. Maybe start with the leg that you feel is strongest. We're just going to come into balance. And maybe squeeze your hands together. Or just put your hands on your hips for a little bit more support. You'll notice that my ankle wobbles, that's normal. Keep balancing. Keep breathing. And we're going to stop. Now, you may notice for some of you that you do start to already feel a bit of an ache in your glute as you're balancing. And that's because your hip muscles support us as we balance. Let's come on to our other side. Everybody has a weaker side, and this is my slightly weaker side because of an ankle injury. So you may notice that I wobble more on this side. Keep going. Keep balancing. Keep breathing. And stop. That felt challenging enough. I want you to stick to that level. If it was okay, we're again going to come into balance. We're going to just do a little arm exercise at the same time. We're going to do 5, grow tall, 4, just a gentle movement. We're not stretching too much. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to go onto the other side. And when I come into balance, I really think about grounding myself through my leg, pulling up through my body, engaging that inner core muscle, and off you go. So if you want, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. And stop. So give those legs a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to come on to our last balance exercise. So you're going to feel some warmth and some energy through those legs. And this is going to be 2 levels again. So we'll all start with just a tap, and then there's an ability to lift if you want. So coming off the mat, if it's easier, if you feel more controlled, we're just going to tap the foot. Now, I know that seems really simple, but I want you to imagine you've got a line up this side of the body. And as we tap, we're trying not to fall into the line. So we're going to just do 5. So we're going to go 5, 4, slightly soften the supporting leg, 3, 2, and 1. Think about that line. Come back. And off we go. So think about this line, grow tall, engage the core if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, well done. Last one, and 1. Now, if you felt that you were working hard enough, stick to that level for the last set of 5. So the last set of 5, we're going to lift the leg. So you may find that you're more supported with your hands on your hips, or your hands here, or even your hands out to the side. So 1, 2, growing tall, 3, you can rest your foot down in between if you want, 4, 5, growing tall, lovely. Other side, so grow tall, engage that core, maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then come to a rest. Give your legs or give your body a bit of a stretch. Perfect. So coming down onto our mat, we're going to start off lying on our backs. So coming onto our mats, we're going to have a lie down on our back.
Coming into finding that nice neutral position. So head and neck side to side, up and down, long through the back of the neck, soft through the collarbone, shoulder blades resting onto the mat, ribs are heavy. Feet and knees are hip width apart. We're going to come into those pelvic tilts. And just find that center position of our pelvis. Remember, checking with those fingers as if we could get a silk scarf underneath. So from here, we're going to do an exercise that focuses more on control. Some of you may be already noticing that your bottom's a little bit achy, so this is going to help slow down. And then I'm going to add a variation with a band. So for those of you that have a band, you can add this variation. So we're going to go into hip twist level 1, which actually works our core, control, and our glutes. So we're going to be aware as if we've got this tray of drinks on our hips. And like in standing, we try to not rock side to side. We're going to try and be really still on the mat. Being aware of our breath. Breathing in and out, and as always, just breathing and engaging your core as you feel comfortable. So take that breath in, core gently engaged, and as we breathe out, just floating that left knee out to the side. We're going to breathe in, we're going to come back to center. We're going to breathe out, we're going to float out to the side. We're going to breathe in, we're going to come back to center. We're going to breathe out, we're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out. Just gently engaging that pelvic floor as you can. Maybe you can even imagine you've got a cup of tea or whatever else your favourite drink is on the knee that isn't moving. Seeing how smooth it can be. Coming back to center. Just doing one more. And I'm going to pause. If you don't have a band, just carry on. If you do have a band, as I said, starting with your lightest, pop it around your thighs. It doesn't matter if it kind of isn't flat. That doesn't really matter. So from here, we're going to go into the same exercise, and it's just going to work us a little bit harder. So we're going to carry on breathing out. Now the band is going to give you a little bit of resistance to work against. It's going to work that glute even if you're not aware of it. And as we come back to center, we're going to have to control that it's not pinging back too quick. We're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in. Now there are some of you who will notice with a band on you feel more stable because it's like holding both legs together. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And if you feel that you're smooth and in control, just allow your arms to come up in the air. Breathing out. Breathing in. See how smooth you can be if we're not feeling that pelvis. If you've noticed that you've really lost the control, can you bring your hands back down? Good. And if you do feel that this is quite achievable for you, you can add another variation. You're going to allow the hand and the knee on the same side to float out. And then we're going to float back. But when you do this, you've got to imagine that your back is stuck to the mat with Velcro. And we're trying not to tip. It's beautifully controlled. This may be something that you work up to
really important with Pilates that we're actually working at the level that we can control, because we get more out of each exercise as we do that. So maybe your arms are still, maybe your arms are back on your pelvis as we finish off that last round. And again, you can always increase the resistance of your band as long as you're comfortable, as long as there's no pain and you can control it. So slip the band off. There's no glamorous way to do that. And have a stretch if you want, and then come back to your center. We're going to go into some shoulder bridge work. Now, really important that as we focus on our shoulder bridge, we are noticing that our bottoms are working, not the knees, nothing else. So please watch the introductory course if you're noticing that's happening. So arms down, sometimes I'll lift my arms up so that you can see a bit more. Head and neck nice and comfortable. We shouldn't ever want to feel lots of pressure on our head and neck. Taking a breath in, engaging as we're breathing out, tucking that tailbone under, just noticing at this level that there's just a tightness in the bottom. Rolling up, keeping our back soft. We're trying not to lift up with our back. We're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out. We're going to imagine our spine is lowering down bone by bone. Just warming up our back, warming up our glutes a bit more. Breathing in, breathing out as we're rolling up, the core's gently engaged. Breathing in to hold, breathing out, lowering down. We're going to do one more of this level. Just gently tucking under and rolling up. And then from here, I want you to hold, keep the core engaged for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Any of you found that too much, please just carry on with rolling up and down. Going again, core gently engaged, breathing out, rolling up, and we're going to hold. Noticing those glutes gently contracting for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back down. I'm going to do 3 more of those. So breathing out, core engaged, feeling that bottom gently tighten, and we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. I'm going to do 2 more. Gently rolling up, and we're going to hold, and we're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Last one, breathing in, core is engaged, tucking under, rolling up, holding, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, lowering down, bone by bone. Once again, having a little bit of a stretch. From here, we're going to come onto our side. And so for this, we're going to make sure that we've got maybe another head pad or another pillow just to support the neck. You can lie in a couple of different ways. You can lie just kind of really supporting your head and neck. You could lie, I sometimes like lying like this. You are a little bit less stable, and some of you, if you have neck pain, this is going to be too uncomfortable. So we're going to come into clam. So finding our center position, we're going to rock the pelvis forwards and back. Now, although my hand is going to be here, a lot of you are going to need what I call the crab hand to give yourself stability. Don't like a hand pushed here because it takes it too much into the neck, so just a little light crab hand. You're either going to have your feet down or feet up, and once again, this is the time to watch the introductory video if you're really not sure about this exercise. We're looking to activate this muscle. So very quickly pop your hand on the top of your hip. Allow the hand to slide back the tiniest bit. This is the muscle that should feel tired. If we're feeling it in our leg or our knee or our ankle, we need to just check our technique. So from here, maybe micro adjust whatever you need to do to find your start position. Your feet can be down or your feet can be up. Do not see this as a harder level. This is just what your pelvis, what suits your natural shape. For me, it's actually easier with my feet up. So breathing in, gently engage the core, squeeze those ankles together, open up. Breathing in, coming down. Breathing out. Now we're only going to open as far as we can control without falling backwards. That is comfortable in our hip. Breathing out. Breathing in. Now most of you won't feel a fatigue straight away. But if you do and you're fatigued before we finish this exercise, just rest. Breathing out. Breathing in. Now sometimes I say we have to micro adjust. So if you're noticing you're not quite in that right position, maybe you have to tip forwards a little bit more. Maybe you need to adjust your knees. Maybe they need to be a bit closer to your chest or a little bit further away. Maybe you need to come back to center a bit more without rolling forwards. Just working those hip muscles. We're going to do one more. So that's 10 clams. We're going to lower our legs, give our bottom a bit of a pat, and then we're going to come into our side leg lift. So this is going to work exactly the same muscle. And again, I'd encourage you to just tip forwards if you need. If your hips sore, remember those little pads I've shown in the equipment videos, you can pop them underneath your hips. They're really great. Lying nice and long through the waist as if you've got a little marble here, so we're trying not to collapse into the mat. Crab hand if you need for stability. Micro adjusting so we really find that position to get that muscle activating. We're going to breathe in to engage. We're going to breathe out. We're going to allow that top leg just to come up just above our hip height. We're going to breathe in. Got 9 more to go, but remember to stop if you know that you're fatigued before I stop. Breathing out and in. Micro adjusting if you need. Maybe you need to lock the knee. Maybe the knee is too straight and you need to soften it. Maybe you need to tip forwards a little bit to help that hip abductor muscle activate. We've got 4 more. Good, doing really well. 3. Good, lengthening if you want through the waist. 2. Making sure this stays really still. So the only movement is coming from the hip. Bend the knees. Just give this a little bit of a pat. We're going to very simply take our head block, come up into sitting, and we're going to turn over onto the other side. So making sure you're nice and comfortable. This is really important because some of us are really weak in one side compared to the other. So you may find you can't quite do as many. So coming into that start clam position, maybe with crab hands. Breathing in to engage, breathing out, small opening. Breathing in, breathing out, and in, out, and in. And these muscles can become really weakened in pregnancy. So it's all about starting to get your strength back. And again, breathing out and in, out, and in. We've got 3 more to go. Long through the waist. 2. And 1. Great. Give your legs a little shake. Coming into this position, remembering we can be a little crab. Again, keeping that space between your waist and the mat as if you've got maybe a Malteser there. So 10 of these, breathing in to engage and breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out and in. 8 more. And it's really about the movement coming from this bottom muscle, that I'm not leading with my thigh or my calf or my waist. Keep going, got 5 more. And last one. And then pat that bottom. So you're going to have a lie down on your back now. And from there, we're going to just come into a nice long stretch. So just stretching nice and long. And I sometimes call this star stretch. So just stretching out a little bit more into the diagonals. Opening up those hips. Breathing in and out. In and out. Sliding our legs back. And we're going to stretch off our glute muscles having done all that work. So we're going to cross an ankle over our knee and allow this knee to drop out. We're looking for a gentle stretch here. If this feels very strong, I want you to relax that other foot. It's going to drop the leg away and it's going to be easier. This feels quite easy. You can float the other knee up. Now, I just tell people to hold the legs wherever they feel comfortable. So some people hold the knees, some people hold the ankles. Going to breathe in and out, and this is important that a stretch is soft. If you're holding this and it's sore, then just release the stretch off a bit. Just keep breathing, focusing on soft through the upper body. And again, we're holding this stretch longer than you may think, because just doing a really nice longer stretch for the glutes. And we're going to go down, and as always, don't rush into the stretch. See how you feel, release the leg if you need, gently lifting it if you feel comfortable, holding where you feel okay. And in terms of breath, we're going for about 10 breaths in and out. Again, noticing the sensations through your body as you breathe. Just keep taking this lovely moment for yourself. Knowing that you started to wake up all those glute muscles. And last breath. And just relax. So from here, just rolling onto your side. Again, coming into sitting or standing or kneeling, whatever's comfortable. And we're going to take a breath in. And we're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out. And last one, breathing in. And out. And my little wiggle that I love to do. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that class. Again, it's a class with different variations that you can do as you build up your strength. It's also a class that I do suggest repeating because over time you're going to notice that you're going to get stronger.